This week on 49ers Cal High Sports presented by U.S. Bank, the Oakland football star trying to become the first in his family to go to college, but it hasn't been easy. We'll hit the links with the Bellarmine golfer who's had an amazing summer.
We'll also have the twins from Washington High School and their fascinating story, and the Wilcox football player and his connection with his grandfather. It's all next on 49ers Cal High Sports.
Welcome to 49ers Cal High Sports presented by U.S. Bank. I'm Robert Braunstein.
And I'm Aubrey Tolliver. We begin tonight with the Heritage softball player headed to Cal after her senior season.
Yeah, this girl is really good. Tiana Bell is a hard-working, hard-hitting third baseman for the Patriots, looking forward to a big season this spring. If you can have fun while you work hard, the hard work becomes fun. Tiana Bell is one of the top softball players in the Bay Area. Tiana will go to Cal next year on scholarship, but right now she's working toward her senior season. Tiana's Heritage High team lost to star pitcher Nicole May and her Foothill Falcons team in the NCS title game in 2019. With COVID, the Patriots lost their chance at revenge.
That's our main goal every season, is to get back to that and to beat Foothill. And since the pandemic hit, we were just devastated because we actually felt like we had another chance last season to see them again in the championship and maybe have a chance of beating them now that we see what she's coming with pitching-wise and how they hit and how they play.
Tiana comes here to Antioch's Malou Fitness 3 days a week, working out with other top softball players. This is part of Tiana's training regimen to be the very best she can be.
I worked every day, whether it was hitting, fielding, working out, or just looking back at film. And I'm really big on the mental game, so I would read a bunch of books and a bunch of softball players who wrote books and how they got to their point and just going off of that.
What makes her so good is that desire to do what it takes to succeed.
I just think her work ethic, going in all these tournaments, and always posting videos about her working out 3 days a week, out, batting cages, field work. There's a lot of sacrifice that goes into her and her family, and I think that's just the whole body of work.
Ella Jenkins is a teammate of Tiana's at Heritage. She would have played her freshman year if not for the COVID. Ella sees Tiana's hard work as a motivation for her.
Yeah, I look up to her in any way. On the field, she's always the one who always puts in the most work and stuff. I look up to her, especially as she's older than me. I just look to her as a role model.
Tiana's friend Jessie Junio is a senior at Carondelet. The coronavirus has kept her from a scholarship despite being a talented four-year starter for the Cougars.
So with quarantine, a lot of coaches aren't allowed to come out to our games, and there was a really long dead period, and they kept extending it and extending it and extending it. And right now, we're able to talk to coaches, but a lot of them are still trying to figure out the financial situation, and a lot of them have moved on to the 22 class, don't really have enough money left for 21 class.
The three girls have become close, working out together during the virus quarantine, all trying to achieve their goal of playing at the next level.
Whenever I'm in here with her, I always feed off her energy. She's always up, and she's always wanting to add weight. She always wants to get better, with every single rep. And so I think that's why she's where she's at.
After her weight workout, Tiana travels up to Sacramento for a softball workout with her travel team. Tiana is a hard-hitting third baseman who impressed the Cal head coach with her style of play.
She liked how aggressive I was and how I played and just my style of playing and how I hit. She said is very powerful, and just the way I am as a player, that's what she wants back at Cal. And she also wants to keep the California girls in California, so she wanted me to stay here.
But of course, none of this happens without a lot of support. For Tiana, it's her mom.
Because she'll come home, she'll wake up early for work, 5 in the morning, come home at 4, take a shower, not even eat anything, and she'll take me to practice in Rancho Cordova, Sacramento, or she'll take me to Martinez, and then won't even have days off during the week, and then we'll have to go to travel, and I really appreciate it a lot.
Tiana has a 3.9 GPA. She's not thrilled with the online learning, but she is battling through. Meantime, she continues to have fun while working hard.
Oh, she loves dancing. You know, if you can ask her right now, right behind me. You can ask her to strike a pose or hit something. T, hit something for us. What you got over there? There you go. See, that's T. That's her relationship here at the shop with T.
Tiana is looking forward to playing with her Heritage team this spring, ready to put all this hard work toward a shot at a section title. Tiana's travel team is headed on the road this month to start playing some tournament games, the first real games Tiana has played since the start of the pandemic.
Wow. Seeing how much she weightlifts, I bet you she can hit bombs, right?
She does. She's a heavy hitter, and you know it was tough because they lost to Foothill in that championship game. No real problem there because Foothill had a very good pitcher, but they wanted to get revenge, and they never got that chance at revenge. So this now is her chance. This is her chance.
This spring. Awesome. All right, Stevens Creek Chevrolet brings us the Spirit Corner each week.
This week we feature the James Lick cheer team. Coming up, the talented gymnast from San Jose looking for big things in her future.
And later, the Wilcox running back leaning on the support of his team and his grandparents. We'll be right back.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
Look at you. No braces, all the internet you can handle. I wasn't so lucky.
Invis is not your parents' braces. Invis is predictable, less painful, more comfortable. Invisalign.
When I first came here, my goal was to be a contributing player on my high school's JV football team. The center actually not only helped me achieve my goals, but exceed even what I initially set out to do. I was able to continue playing football professionally through a lot of the things that I learned at the Rega Center. The Rega Center is a place to help you achieve your goals and then, tailor it to whatever the person's goals might be.
1, 2, 3.
Get ready to cheer for your next new or used car at Stevens Creek Chevrolet.
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
We're ready to make your buying experience safe and easy. Come to our dealership to see and test drive one of hundreds of great Chevrolet cars and trucks. Or you can go online to shop, order, and have your new car delivered right to your door. So get fired up for a great deal right here at
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
It's understandable to feel anxious, stressed, or lonely because of COVID-19. Physical separation, your own health, and the health of friends and family can weigh heavily on you. Call a timeout on work. Get a game plan for mental wellness with crucial mental health resources from CalHOPE. We'll help you carry the ball. Call 1-833-317-HOPE to talk to someone who can help, or visit calhope.dhcs.ca.gov. CalHOPE, official partner of the San Francisco 49ers.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Invisalign, transforming smiles, changing lives. By Stevens Creek Chevrolet, find new roads. By Wingstop, order Wingstop's new all-in bundle, just $19.99. See wingstop.com for restrictions and details. And by Cupertino Electric, the company delivering power and possibilities and celebrating student athletes making a positive impact.
Welcome back to Levi's Stadium. Adobe brings us stories each week of athletes performing at their peak.
Allie Williams introduces us to a San Jose gymnast performing at the highest level on the world stage.
Yes. Many young gymnasts dream of winning a gold medal, but only a select few have gotten as far as Sienna Alipio.
Sienna Alipio is a member of the USA Gymnastics team, one of fewer than 20 senior elite gymnasts in the country. She says her start was pretty simple.
I was kind of just tumbling around my house, and my mom thought it was safer if she brought me here.
She started on this recreational side, and the other side of the gym was the competitive side, and she just always wanted to be like on the other side with the big girls.
Well, when I was about 6, Judy and Paul, my coaches, they were like, maybe she's good for like the TOPS program, which TOPS leads into HOPES, and then HOPES leads into Elite.
She was very flexible at that age, so that was a good indicator that, in our sport, flexibility is one of the major components of a good athlete. Strength, and then that it factor is the kind of daredevil. The kids without fear tend to go the farthest.
Sienna moved up the ranks. She eventually saw a path to the national team, and her coaches were ready to help her get there.
She said, my goal was go to the national team. And so, okay, let's go for it. Yeah, you have a potential, but your potential, you have to work hard.
That work includes a very strenuous training schedule.
It's kind of crazy. So Monday through Friday, we do 7 to 12 in the mornings, and then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons, we come back from like 3 until like 5 or 5:30. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays are our like half days. Saturdays is 8 to 1, and then we get Sundays off.
She knew just from growing up that she kind of had to make a choice. Once she got to high school, it would just be too much, the workload.
Sienna says she was in private school growing up. Without a rigorous schedule, she may have ended up in the West Catholic League, but it made more sense to enroll in online learning.
We just are able to be so much more flexible. I don't have to worry about missing school when we go to competitions because I can bring my school with me.
Online school changes the typical high school teenage years of classes and dances with her peers, but Sienna says it's worth being able to chase her dreams.
I'm like, well, am I missing out on high school experiences? But I mean, it's kind of the price I have to pay.
It's always her choice, does she want to, stop this and go to school, or what that looks like.
Even when my friends used to ask me to come over to just hang out at their house, it was like, sorry, I can't, I have gym. But I mean, it was kind of the sacrifice I chose to make just so I could be where I am now.
Where Sienna is now is Team USA, holding medals from both the U.S. Championships and her first international competition in Italy.
That was a really great experience. My biggest goal was to make the Italy team.
It was amazing that she was the reason that we were there for the first time, and to watch her just represent the U.S. and all the kids would come and want their autographs, and it was just kind of a very different experience.
But before I competed, I was a ball of nerves.
It's just a different feel. The time change, they're getting up at different times to have to be able to train. You're regulated by what each country is allowed on the equipment time, and it's not much.
It was also hard because I could only have one coach go with me. I've never competed at a meet without one of my coaches there, and so having to self-correct and get ready to compete, I had to take a step back and be just imagine you're at the gym, it's just another routine.
The team finished second overall, and Sienna placed third on vault and second on balance beam. The feeling of sticking her landing overseas was like nothing else.
Once I landed that beam routine, it kind of all comes back to you because you're oh, I'm done, and everything rushes back. And I was I'm done with beam. In Italy, I was so crazy to me that I had just competed on international soil. It was just the craziest realization to me.
It's been one adventure after another for Sienna, and she credits gymnastics for helping her become the person she is today.
It really just overall has shaped me to be how I am, because from a young age you're taught discipline.
I mean, I guess you could say she's more of like a type A personality, so I don't know if that's like exacerbated.
I guess just like perfectionism, time management, and just being like a good sport too, because like gymnastics can be a very individual sport at some points, but it also can be a team sport. So being able to support and just be there for my teammates here in the gym, or going to support them at a competition, help move mats if they need it.
Having Sienna by my side is so nice. You have someone to support you, who understands what you're going through, if you get injured. She gives the best pep talks too.
She knows she has plenty of work to do, but the Olympics are coming up.
One of my biggest goals is to be hey, I want to make Olympic trials and just see where it takes me from there. And so yeah, being able to go to Olympic trials would be a great experience too.
As Sienna moves forward in gymnastics and in life, she knows she has the foundation she needs to take on whatever comes her way.
Sienna is currently in the process of talking to gymnastics programs at several different colleges. She couldn't tell me who she's deciding between, but she hopes to have a decision by the end of the year.
But of course, she'll tell us first, and then we'll tell everybody else.
Absolutely, an exclusive.
Yeah, that's right. And she's going to school right now for high school where?
She's online right now. She was in private school up until 8th grade, and with the workload, she was able to bring her educational stuff with her when she's on the international stage.
Yeah, and she's from San Jose.
Yeah, that's right. San Jose, doing us proud. Bay Area.
Awesome.
All right, each week, Lexus of Stevens Creek presents the Volunteer Award, part of the Lexus of Stevens Creek commitment to promoting volunteer work.
This week's volunteer is Celesi Mawala from Tennyson High School. Celesi volunteers his free time at a homeless shelter in Oakland, where he cooks food for the homeless as well as cleaning the shelter in order to set an example for young people. Celesi explains why volunteering is so rewarding for him.
It made me feel good because I helped a lot of people. We all helped a lot of people on the community, and yeah, and it set an example for the young ones that's coming up in the community.
Coming up, the Oakland football player and his quest to be the first in his family to go to college.
49ers Cal High Sports will be right back.
People is asking me what I got on. They be like, hey Brandon, what you got on? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Invis is everything braces isn't. More comfortable, fewer emergency appointments. Invisalign.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we're in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Go to SB Live California as your destination for the very best in local high school sports coverage online. SB Live brings sports fans exclusive articles, highlights, coaches, polls, and photo galleries. Get the SB Live app for the latest scores from games played all around the Bay Area and California. This season, SB Live brings you exclusive content in partnership with 49ers Cal High Sports. Follow us at SB Live CA on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. SB Live, the Bay Area's first destination for the latest in high school sports.
Invis is everything braces isn't. Eating the foods you love, life uninterrupted. Invisalign.
We're the last longest time, and you're watching 49ers Cal High Sports Report. Yeah!
Each week, U.S. Bank helps us bring you stories of inspirational athletes who amaze us.
Javion Cole always tries to keep his family close to him, but that isn't easy with so many family members coming in and out of his life. Javion Cole cannot be more ready to get back on the field.
Javion brings a kind of quiet leadership. He is an athlete on our team, and he's a very vital piece to our team and the success of our team.
It's a lot of ups and downs, but together we fight as a community, as a family.
For Javion, Oakland High School is a stepping stone, believing that by excelling in academics and sports, he can find a way out.
I'm the only man in the household, so I have to do something to get my family out of Oakland.
Javion currently lives with his grandmother, mom, and sister. He's been without a father since he was in the 2nd grade. His dad is nearing the end of an 8-year prison sentence. Javion tries to stay in close contact with him.
On my dad's side of the family, the men are not together, so I feel like it's important that we all stay in touch. He's built the bond back again, but it's not completely back to where it was. He just tells me to do the opposite of what he does, to stay out of the streets, stay and take care of my sisters.
Family is everything for Javion. He says he's seen too many family members come in and then out of his life. Javion lost 2 of his grandmothers to cancer, and then one of his cousins was shot and killed.
It was all in 1 year, or maybe 2 years the most. I lost 3 family members on my dad's side, and that was real heartbreaking because they were all family members I was close to. And it was around me going to 7th grade, and I just started to fall off in school. My grades started to drop above GPA average, and I just lost focus of everything.
Javion was extremely close to his grandmother on his dad's side.
I was like real close to her. I could talk to her about anything, and then knowing that she wasn't there, I couldn't talk to her no more. It was hurting because it was someone I really needed to go to at points. And without my dad being there, it was like, who can I talk to on that side of the family?
Eventually, Javion got back on track, especially with his grades.
Academics, they play a good role in my life. They're very important, especially my family. A lot of people in my family didn't complete college, and I feel like I have to complete college. It's a goal in my family. No one else completed college, so I say I have to be the first to complete college.
He does have the academic grades to potentially earn an athletic scholarship either in basketball or football. But, you know, he's had some struggles in life that, you know, he's dealt with his father, and his mom is present there too. His grandfather's present as well. But just coming from his background of more challenges in earning and keeping his head on straight with his grades and his athletics, I mean, stories like this don't come around too much to where, you know, you want to highlight one of these kids and want to make sure that we try to give them the best opportunities possible just from all the little trials and tribulations that they've gone through.
Javion says by leaning on those closest to him and learning from other family members' mistakes, he is able to stay on the right path.
I feel like I was able to take this path because, first off, I think it starts in my family because my dad and my brother took the opposite path. First of all, they both were playing sports at a point in time, and they chose to take the opposite path. So I feel like I chose to take the right path because I feel like it's the only way outside of school to keep my family safe and to take care of them.
Javion Cole doing what's best for his family by expecting the best from himself.
That's a rip, Drake. Bro, we supposed to. No, that's all safe.
Javion has had an amazing support system with his grandmother and his uncle, and really just the Oakland football and basketball teams. He is committed to graduating from Ojai with honors so he could set himself up for a bright future.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit last week with Darius from Skyline High School, and the coaches in the Oakland League are doing really a great job of getting together and working with each other to get these kids out of high school and into college and successful.
In a position to succeed.
Yeah, and it's so much harder than it is for the rest of us, certainly harder than it was for my kids to do that, and for them to be able to succeed in that kind of situation is just fantastic.
It's been amazing, yeah.
All right, Wingstop brings us the Wings of an Angel honor each week, where a student athlete talks about their favorite teacher.
Here's Daisy Monopal from Lick Wilmerding High School talking about her favorite teacher, Monica West.
So my favorite teacher at high school is my creative writing teacher. And I had her as a teacher last year when I was a junior, and I also am fortunate enough to have her this year. And she's just super kind, she's super sweet, and at my high school, our class size is pretty small, so she really takes a lot of care in her students, and she knows them well enough to know when they're struggling or, you know when something's not right, and she'll reach out to you. And I really like how supportive she is and how attentive she is to just how you are, not just as a student, but as a person.
Our Wings of an Angel teacher will receive a Wingstop gift card for doing such a great job.
Wingstop is also honoring Terry Blanchard, a Wingstop owner who passed away this past spring from COVID-19. Wingstop will be supporting scholarships for athletes of color in Terry's honor. Those scholarships to be presented at our end of the season awards banquet in June.
Coming up, the Bellarmine golfer and why the best summer of his life turned bittersweet.
And later, the regular season game from our E-Game tournament, 49ers Cal High Sports, will return in a moment.
Are you ready to sink your teeth into a lemon peppery, sweet and spicy Korean cute-tastic mango habanero
masterclass in all things wings?
Yes, I am.
Are you though?
I'll take that.
All right.
When the dinner craving hits, Wingstop delivers. Get free delivery for a limited time at wingstop.com.
Piercy Honda, located right off Highway 880 in Milpitas, is where you will find hundreds of new and pre-owned Hondas to choose from. Low credit score, no credit, first-time buyer? No problem, Piercy Honda can help. Find us online at piercyhonda.com to search our inventory, calculate your payments, and even complete your purchase. Piercy Honda is home to great customer service, great deals, and a more convenient way to buy a new or pre-owned Honda. Go to Piercy Honda in Milpitas.
The Guzmans were about to close on a home they adored, but at the last minute, their mortgage company denied their loan because the unusual home didn't meet their usual loan requirements. Heartbroken, they turned to Tri-Counties Bank home mortgage loan specialist Vincent Pagera, specializing in custom loans for unique homes. His team quickly designed a creative solution, uniting the Guzmans and their home just in time. That's a perfect match. For personalized problem solving, switch to Tri-Counties Bank. Service with solutions.
'49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By DGDG.com, where we want you to be a happy car buyer. By the Rikers Center, where goals and dreams become a reality. By Tri-Counties Bank, service with solutions. 12 locations now open in the Bay Area. And by the Serena Group, here for good.
I'm Kathleen Pazine with Serena Group Real Estate, and I'm proud to support Bay Area high school sports on the 49ers Cal High Sports Report.
We're back at Levi Stadium with this week's DGDG.com feature athlete.
Matthew Kress had a breakout summer of golf, taking his game to another level. But because of the coronavirus, Matthew's future is still in doubt. Even if you do everything right in life, sometimes life has its own plans. Matthew Kress originally wanted to be a basketball player, but life had other ideas.
I played basketball as my freshman year at Bellarmine, and after my freshman year, I was renewing my physical on file for school, and I actually failed my physical because of the doctors weren't sure, like I had some irregular heartbeat with my heart.
So Matthew gave up basketball and started concentrating on golf. It turned out he is really good at golf, and getting away from all the hard running was good for his heart.
My first visit with the cardiologist, she said that my heart was dilated, was enlarged, and she didn't know why. And so obviously when you go to a cardiologist and you see that, it sets off a lot of alarms, and still to this day I have now an annually appointment with them just to keep in and check. And interestingly enough, that enlarged heart that I had with the cardiologist when I saw them is now gone away.
With his golf game improving, Matthew was looking forward to his spring season on the Bellarmine golf team and a chance to show his skills to college scouts over the summer. Then came COVID-19.
Well, with COVID-19, it was very interesting because about in March, all golf courses kind of, shut down. I couldn't get on grass for I don't know how long, probably 6 weeks. And so I was just stuck at home like most other people. And with golf, it's, it's kind of challenging to practice at home. Luckily I have, a little net set up and a putting green at home, and so I try to make the best of that, but you can get bored pretty quickly just doing that.
But just doing that turned out to be a valuable thing for this young golfer. He was able to concentrate on some of the finer points of his game. Then, when the courses opened up, Matthew played the best golf of his life, gaining national attention at several tournaments over the summer.
I had a great stretch in June. I think the first tournament back I played, it was a qualifier, and I shot 68. Weirdly enough, it was my first competition round back of the summer, and I made a hole-in-one. Didn't get it on video, didn't get it on any pictures of it, but I think the next tournament I entered in, I shot 68, 71, and won that, which was pretty much my best golf I've played in my life. And then I followed that up, I think, a couple days later with a 67.
With all this success, Matthew was thinking the college scholarship offers would start pouring in. But COVID changed the recruiting rules, and with delays and money issues, colleges began to turn their backs on the class of 2021.
Especially for college golf, a max roster size you might see on a typical NCAA team is 12 kids, and now that's got expanded to upwards of 18, 15 kids, and so I'm sure I'm not the only one. I've gotten a lot of messages back of coaches that I was in contact with and in good terms with, and they just said we hate sending this email, but we're just not going to be able to recruit from your class anymore because there's just the money isn't there and the spots aren't there.
Now Matthew is in scholarship limbo with great talent and excellent grades at a time of incredible uncertainty.
There's no way around it, and it is what it is, and you got to find a way to reach your goals. And I think there's always going to be that no matter what challenges in life. If there's a will, there's a way, and the people who find that will in them, they'll find a way.
It's a tough life lesson, but it's a good one in that they learn that, sometimes even doing your best, there's going to be things out of your control. And you gotta just learn how to deal with it and make the best of it.
Despite all of this, Matthew stays positive and is looking forward to the high school season this spring. He's had lots of support during his golf experience, especially from one person.
Without a question, probably my dad. He was the one who got me started playing the game, whether it's just on the weekends, fooling around with him at the course. And, that really started this whole thing, and he's been there every step of the way, good and bad.
I'm immensely proud. Seeing how especially he's handled this kind of situation is kind of mature beyond his years, and the responsibilities that he's maintained with all of his academics and school and stuff like that. If the golf works out, that's going to be great, but I have no doubt that he's going to be successful in life from what he's learned through all of this.
Like so many people, so many high school athletes are going through this uncertain time. They never planned on a pandemic affecting their goals, but here we are. Matthew is keeping a positive attitude, secure in the knowledge success in school will bring him success in life. If golf is a part of that, he's ready. Matthew is really a great player and dedicated to getting better, but this class of 2021 thing is really tough. So these coaches and athletic directors at colleges, they are waiting and waiting and waiting to recruit this class of 2021, and finally it got to the point where they're just saying, we're going to skip that class and we're going to go to the class of 2022.
Really?
Yeah, they really are, and we've seen it a couple of different times in doing stories and talking to people like Matthew, where they just are out of luck because this season is getting skipped by the colleges. So unless you have a scholarship already wrapped up before you went into the season, you are, as they say, out of luck.
Oh, so they're just going to try their luck maybe walking on to teams.
Yeah, either walking on or going to college and then, seeing what they can do from there. But it's really, really tough.
I know, it's sad.
Or junior college.
We're in a tough position. We are in a very tough position.
Yeah, hard for them. I hate to see it happen.
All right, coming up, the story of the twin basketball players from San Francisco and their unbelievable bond.
And later, the Wilcox running back hoping to have an impact on the field with the support of his teammates and grandparents. This is 49ers Cal High Sports, presented by U.S. Bank. We are back at Levi Stadium and joined now by Danielle Pawlowski, who has some double trouble.
Danielle has a story of twin basketball players who have a very special bond.
Aubrey, from completing a pass to each other to finishing each other's sentences, Michaela and Malia Banawa are extremely close. With college right around the corner, the twins are cherishing what could be their final year attending the same school. Washington's Michaela and Malia Banawa can find each other on the court without even looking up.
We have this sort of twin telepathy, so sometimes we'll know where we're at on the court. So if she's cutting to the basket, I'll know that she's cutting to the basket, so I'll pass it to her. It's really convenient and reassuring to know that someone else on the court knows what you're gonna do without you having to tell them what to do.
The two are very close. Playing on the same high school team has their relationship at a whole new level.
We tend to get a little competitive with each other more than my other teammates. So if we're guarding each other one-on-one, we'll really be focused on our game and trying to one-up each other.
The Eagles won the San Francisco section title last year. Michaela and Malia are hoping to repeat this season to end their high school careers on a high note.
Our chemistry was really strong, so all of us were really close. And winning a championship with your best friends is like one of the best feelings ever. It's our last year of high school too, and we don't plan to play basketball in college on a team, but maybe intramural. So this year would have been really important for us to show off.
Michaela and Malia are the only set of twins on the Eagles, but back at home, that's not the case. Michaela and Malia have 3 sisters, including an older set of twins, Kalani and Kalia, who were born on the exact same day, May 30th, 7 years earlier.
I've never gotten over the fact that I've had 2 sets of twins with the same birthday, so I still, I'm kind of in awe about it, and I don't know, I think it's just like really cool and awesome.
The Banawa family is featured in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most sets of twins born on the same day.
Honestly, in everyday life, I don't really think about it that much, but when people ask me about it, that's when I start thinking like, wow, I have a world record without even doing anything. I just had to be born.
While they wait to hear about the upcoming season, Michaela and Malia are making the most of their time together. With 2 contrasting majors, the pair could end up at different colleges next year.
I'm going into nursing and she's going more into like government, civics. If we were to go to different schools, it would be really sad. But then again, we have technology and we would probably call each other every day. She's like my other half, so it's like a part of me is missing. So that would be such a hard transition.
It's probably going to be hard for them because they've, for the most part, been together all the time. But I think it would be a good experience for them to go out there and, meet new friends, be their own person away from each other.
Michaela and Malia's chemistry on the court is on full display. Since their freshman season, the pair has shown an undeniable connection. When asked about that connection, Michaela and Malia have a hard time describing it. To them, it's simply a twin thing. While the pandemic has pushed back the start of the season, Michaela and Malia are grateful that they have each other to practice with at home.
As crazy, they were both born on the same day as their other twin sisters.
The same exact day, just 7 years later.
What are the odds of that?
It's a Guinness World Record.
I know, but I'm flabbergasted. All right, thanks, Danielle. It's Deja Mu. Each week, Clover Dairy brings us athletes who are grazing their way through the professional ranks. This week, we feature Kalani Ricketts from Mitty High.
They call her the Queen of K. Kaylani was a softball player and basketball player for the Mitty Monarchs. She went on to the University of Oklahoma, where she was a 2-time Collegiate Player of the Year. Kaylani now plays pro softball with the USSSA Pride.
Coming up, game action from our Madden E-Game tournament next.
And later, the Wilcox football player finding a home with the Charger program.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view.
And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
It's understandable to feel anxious, stressed, or lonely because of COVID-19. Physical separation, your own health, and the health of friends and family can weigh heavily on you. Call a timeout on work. Get a game plan for mental wellness with crucial mental health resources from CalHOPE. We'll help you carry the ball. Call 1-833-317-HOPE to talk to someone who can help, or visit calhope.dhcs.ca.gov. CalHOPE, official partner of the San Francisco 49ers.
For more than 65 years, Cupertino Electric has been delivering power and possibilities. With offices throughout California and project sites throughout the U.S., Cupertino Electric today builds renewable, commercial, utility, and data center projects for some of the most influential companies in the world. Beyond that, we are a people company. We build family, communities, and meaningful careers. Visit CEI.com today or connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or other social sites to see our openings and join our team.
Devcon Construction is #1 in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley because of trust. 95% of our business comes from repeat customers. They know the customer is our top priority. That's why Devcon was the choice for the 49ers Stadium and for the Earthquake Stadium. Devcon was also chosen when outstanding schools like Bellarmine, the Nueva School, and Mitty wanted the very best on time and on budget. Top Bay Area companies know Devcon is the best choice whether it's new construction or renovation. Devcon Construction, helping to build the best in Silicon Valley. Our e-game tournament continues this week with the regular season heating up. We're getting to a point now where the really, really good players are separating themselves from the Blake Burks of the world.
Oh, Blake Burke. We have mentioned Blake Burke's name way too many times on this show. No, he's
a very good e-game player, a great Madden player. It's just everybody else
and great baseball
is a little
player.
bit better. He's a much better baseball player than he is an e-game player.
All right, let's see this week's regular season action from our e-game tournament.
What's good? My name is Darius Saunders, also known as DD Pro Hackers, or just DD. Currently in the regular season, I'm undefeated. Came off of a pretty good preseason, lost to one person.
Yeah, so I'm Josh Gerlach. I go to Cal High in San Ramon. I had one loss in the preseason, and looking back now, I have 3 wins. I'm 3-0. Adjustments I made, just stopped playing in so many defensive sets. I just stuck to 2 or 3. And then on offense, I'm just keeping it more simple.
Gets locked in.
Thank you. Again.
Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And across the chalk.
Come on, swat the ball. Damn, nice throw.
It's Garoppolo. Able to haul run on first down. Ingram. There goes Mark Ingram.
Every time.
Chance to win this one now. On first down. It's Ingram. There goes Mark Ingram. And it'll take it in a couple of minutes. Put this one in the left-hand column. And he is into the end zone.
So yeah, the game was close to the 4th, but that's just how I play. Because in the beginning, I like to take it slow and figure out what my opponent's doing, and I just need to get them out of their comfort zone. Like at the end, I forced him to just try to force plays through just so we can get back in the game, and that's where I thrive. It's making them do bad plays.
Yeah, like he said, I just couldn't get nothing going on offense. I couldn't run the ball, and when I can't run, I don't usually win. Yeah, same thing happened with Simi. So it was like pretty much the same game, except Didi kind of unloaded on me at the end there because I had to, like he said, I had to force some passes that I didn't want to throw.
Follow UGL on social media and subscribe to UGL World_TV on Twitch to view the full game.
The Harker School brings us the Scholar Athlete Awards each week. This week we honor Matthew Kress, who we met earlier in the show. The Bellarmine golfer has a 4.2 GPA.
Very tough. Brought to you by Harker School on October 16th. Harker alumni athletes A.J. Reed from the class of 2004, Chris Davis from the class of 2003, Candace Silva Martin from the class of 2009, and Isabel Connell from the class of 2013 were all inducted into the Harker Athletic Hall of Fame at a special virtual ceremony. Each inductee was recognized for their athletic achievements and their commitment to Harker's goal of creating well-rounded global citizens. Learn more at harker.org.
Be sure to check us out on social media for lots of fun content, including videos, news updates, and lots more. We're at 49ers Cal High everywhere, including TikTok.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates on when new videos are posted each week. Lots of great stuff there. Coming up, the Wilcox football player trying to get to college despite the hardships in his life.
You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports, the #1 high school sports show in the nation.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Lexus of Stevens Creek, we get it. By Clover Sonoma, the #1 milk brand in Northern California and proud partners of the 49ers. And by Devcon Construction, build, design, perform, sustain.
We are back at Levi Stadium with our final feature story for this week, brought to you by Service by Medallion.
Luther Glenn is excited to begin his junior season at Wilcox. He's passionate about the game of football, a passion he shares with those closest to him. For the Wilcox football team, the success of the offense relies heavily on the strength of its linemen and agility of its running backs. Junior Luther Glenn hopes to be the next on the list of great running backs to wear the Charger uniform.
This will be my first time playing under the lights, so it's really going to be fun to me. I like playing under the lights. I don't like playing when it's like broad day and it's hecka hot.
He's going to get the ball a lot. I mean, he's probably our lead guy on offense. There's other talented guys for sure, but he's going to be the workhorse. If we're going to be successful, he's going to be a big reason for that.
When he was 7, my husband wanted to put him in, his grandpa wanted to put him in tackle, and I didn't want him to play tackle.
Betty Glenn is Luther's grandmother.
He brought me the paperwork home, and I never filled it out on purpose.
Luther has been living with his grandparents since he was 7.
He was living with his mom, and she was struggling. She has 3 other boys also, and she was struggling with him, and he was going to be here temporary. But he's been here for so long. He wants to stay. So, and she's really great about it. We talk all the time, and she knows that he wants to stay here, so he's here.
I got so comfortable now living with my grandparents. It just feels like my mom and dad now, so.
Ever since Luther began living with his grandparents, he and his grandfather, also named Luther, have shared a special bond.
Very happy man. Still a kid. Just like to do what I like to do, so that's why we connected very close. She was like my dad to me, and it was like really hard when he left. Took a piece of me out, but I had to stay strong and just keep playing. Every time I play for him, so.
He had non-Hodgkin's, lymphoma, and leukemia.
2?
Yes, he had both. So 2 seasons he watched him play, and he was in the hospital for like months at a time. But as soon as he got out and he would go to practices, he would go to every game that he could. The only way he didn't make it to a game is because he was in the hospital for treatment. Other than that, he was there the whole time.
I mean the most. I was hecka happy. All the time looking in the stands, seeing him, or just seeing him in the parking lot, staring at me playing, giving me the thumbs up. Yeah, it just made me happy.
Grandpa Luther passed away in 2013. He was the only father figure Luther had ever known.
Oh, it was really hard. I wasn't really I thought it was all a lie or something, but because I was a kid and stuff, but when he really died, it was like, damn. It was just me and my grandma now, so really hard. I had no dad, so. I don't really like to talk about it, but it was just hard because, seeing a father figure of me laying in the casket and stuff, it just took me apart.
Luther's very quiet. He doesn't talk about it a lot. He doesn't talk about anything. After my husband passed, he said he didn't want to play anymore. And I was like, oh no, there's no way he can stop now. He played Mighty Cats. He was MVP, got MVP. I'm like, you can't stop. Your grandpa would want you to keep going. But he said, at the last minute again, he said, you know what, I'll do it. And he did it, and he's been doing it ever since.
Do you feel his presence when you're on the football field?
All the time. All the time. Every time I'm running, I feel like he's just looking at me. Telling me, give me the thumbs up like always.
Now it's just Grandma Betty and Luther. Betty says living in the Bay Area on a single income has been difficult. She hopes to move, but wants Luther to be able to finish out school at Wilcox.
He wants to stay here and go to school here, and he wants to graduate here. And I wanted to. I also came to Wilcox, so I wanted him to stay here, but it was just a struggle of staying here because it's so expensive here. But I'm doing it for him. So right now we're living with friends, and we're going to see how it works out. But I'm trying my hardest to keep him here because I know he wants to stay here.
Betty's been phenomenal. His grandma's been phenomenal. We've made every effort to support him because we all have challenges. You never know what someone's going through. And for him to know that he has help and take advantage of it, I think it's helping him move even more so in the right direction in terms of where he wants to be, both in the classroom and on the football field.
Luther says he owes his grandparents everything. His grandmother for her continued support, and his grandfather for introducing him to the sport he now loves. Luther wants to say thank you to his grandmother for all of the sacrifices she has made for him. And he says once he makes it big time, he's going to buy his grandmother a beautiful new car.
Very nice. And it's always so great to see that kind of family support for somebody that, he's had so much adversity in his life.
Yeah.
To have them there is wonderful. And the Wilcox program is fantastic.
That's really what Grandma Betty was saying, is that the program has just been so great to Luther, and this is his first year on varsity. He had a really great, run in the Sarah game against Wilcox last year. So they're excited. They're excited for him.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we see with this coronavirus is that football's not being played in the fall, so the kids aren't getting that leadership and guidance from their football program that they normally would.
Yeah, because they're at home, for most of the day.
Yeah,
so
hopefully at home. Yeah.
Seriously.
All right, coming up, we'll show you some of the stories we'll be airing on next week's show.
But first, here's this week's training tip by our good friends at the Rikus Center.
Hi, I'm Coach Tim Dempsey. Today's training tip is a low high push-up. He's going to place his hands underneath his shoulders, press down through his thighs, then lift his chest and hips off the ground, maintain his core tight. On an exhale, he's going to push straight through the floor. Hold for a position there. He's going to lower back down, maintain the same position, core activated, and push through. And that's your low-high push-up.
That's our 49ers Cal High Sports for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Robert Braunstein.
And I'm Aubrey Tolliver. Next week, we'll meet a San Francisco fencer and see how she succeeds in the beautiful sport. A De Anza High School basketball star dealing with the loss of a close friend, plus so much more. Don't forget to tune in next week. We'll see you then.